from the first day of school. I am so nervously excited for my students to come in, and I definitely want to run you guys what I did for the first day and things like that. And it's my first day doing the dual language program, and this school's doing 50-50. So we're gonna switch after recess, no, after lunch. And I was told that it's best to start in English because students are mostly stronger in English. So it's good to set those routines, those procedures, in their stronger language, and then slowly build them in Spanish as well. So I'm excited. The day starts in English, and I will run you through my plan after school because I'm just so anxious right now. But yeah, I'm really excited. So here my camera audio stopped working, but you'll hear me run through what I was doing. So this was our classroom poster with the school-wide rules, and then we talked about what that looks like in our classroom. And we continue to add to this as the year goes on, and this is more like our community builder. We read Nuestra Clase es una Familia, and we talk about what are the promises that we want to make our classroom a safe and fun place. And there's the book, Nuestra Clase es una Familia, as well as Spanish is My Superpower, another one of our read-alouds. And then this was our counting collections day. For the first day, it's such a great math activity because it really excites them to be counting different things. They get to work together, maybe with someone they haven't met, and they're already doing group stuff. That's going to lead to multiplication. But here are the little eraser gifts I got them. It says, I got you this so you'll always know. I don't want you to be perfect. I just want you to grow, as a little first day gift, just to treat them. And then here is my first day plan. So I do not plan like this every single day, but I think for the first few days to build those routines, as a reminder, I like to do it. Okay, so it's actually a few days now for the first day of school and all that stuff, but I lost a lot of the audio. I did a whole video after school where I was explaining what I was doing, going through my slides and showing you the papers, but that's okay. Sometimes things happen, and I'm just going to show you here at home what I did. I'm going to go through my slides first, explaining with some of the worksheets attached there, and I had those clips from before, and I think everything went really great. I'm really happy with it. I'm always taking from what I'm learning. I did a lot of journaling that day. I think as a teacher, being reflective is very important. So keeping some kind of journal where you can look back on, both as you're planning for like a whole year or as you're looking with your students. Like what did students take from the first day? What notes and observations are you already seeing about your students? And let me show you my slides. This is my opening slide that they see as they're coming in. I am greeting them at the door. And then this is like our routine. I think it's very important to keep it up. I will no longer show this as they understand the routine, but for the first like week and a half, I make sure that it's there in our classroom, and it's when they're having breakfast. So it's just small work. The morning work was just making a little name tag, and it was like out of paper that they just folded and decorated. So very simple. And here was our schedule of the day, and I kind of already started with them in our classroom at the school. They divide kind of like English time into blue and Spanish time into red. That's how we divide our books up as well, so already calling that out for them to pay attention to. And then we did our little like morning meeting, or more like morning announcements, and we had our first like little read aloud together, and I just wanted them to feel comfortable with me. A lot of them were still super shy at this point. And then I let them know like how excited I am. Estoy tan feliz de ser tu maestra. A lot of the kids love Hello Kitty. I love Hello Kitty, so I think it's very nice. And then that's me. I let them know that who I am, my name again. I kind of have them say like, I say my name is Miss Cabrera, what is my name? And they repeat it. And then I let them know how old I am, where I am from, and then of course all my hobbies. So I think it's important to like share the things of your life that you love with your students. So sharing those things with them as well, and then showing them about my family. So I always show them my boyfriend, my family, and then I always get a little sad looking at these pictures because this puppy has actually passed away, but I always tell them that too, and how puppies are still a part of our lives, and a lot of them sometimes even connect with that because they maybe have lost a dog as well. And then all of my favorite things, just to like get them started about what they can put in their name tag, what they can share. And then this is new, it's the first time I did it, but I played a little guessing game about where did I travel. So they look at the picture, look at the details, they take a second to think, and then we practice like routine of like raising our hand to share, waiting to be called on, and it was very fun. So I told them like look at the pictures, look at the flag, and they were able to guess it. Thailand. And then here I gonna give them the clue because it's not too obvious, I think, that here is me with my family, that this is where my family is from. And a lot of them notice I have a Mexican flag on my desk, so they were able to know that this is Mexico. And then I open up for questions. Sometimes they ask questions. Last year they had a lot of questions. This year my kids were more shy, so I think they had like 2, but that's okay. And then we play Find Someone Who. It's a little bingo game where they go through the classroom, find a friend that they can sign, and it just gets them talking, gets them to build conversations with each other. And then we fill out this little banner, and this is actually what is going to be up for my classroom for back to school night. And I added a picture of them at the bottom, and I think it's just so cute. It's in Spanish, gets them thinking and prepared for our Spanish time. And then we go through our practice of our classroom routines. I'll show you in a second. I have kind of like a list that I use on the first day, but we go through where to line up, where do we dismiss, where do we go after lunch, and things like that. Then we did a small little school tour. I showed them where we're going to line up. I showed them where we're going to be for lunch. I showed them our stopping points as we're walking by, and it was nice for them to get a little bit of a stretch on the first day. And then practicing our attention getters, I say clase, clase, and they say dime, dime. As well as whenever I clap, they just follow my clap. Very simple. The school rules. So this was the poster I had showed earlier. So the school rules are be safe, be kind, be respectful, be responsible. And so we kind of practice them as a class. We write them down and we decide how does that look in the classroom, right? Because these are not these are not community builders. These are rules, things that are going to keep us safe. And then I go through logical consequences, which is what I use in my classroom, some examples of that and how it might look. I go through voice levels. If another student is talking, how do you quietly let them know? We go through our classroom hand signs. So I don't have them here, but I have a Spanish version that is just for a bathroom, right? You cross your fingers to get a pencil. I believe it's 2. So we practice this so students can get in the routine of, instead of just asking me, teacher, can I have this, they kind of get to practice this. And then I go over my little classroom dollars. I do reward students. It's very controversial, but I think it's fun for me to be able to give them if I have the resources and to make them smile. I really do enjoy it. And then we go through the norms of recess, and it's recess. Then when we came back, we did a little community building. We read our classes to family, and we started our math time. So math time was counting collections, which I have a different slide for, but it went really great. I think I showed you that clip earlier. Then we went through norms of lunch. It was lunchtime, and we made the switch to Spanish, and we sing this little song, which I could take a second to show you. So here's the little hand movements that go with the song. So, tengo dos manos. I have an English hand. Tengo una mano en español. Las junto para formar un puente. I put the bridge on my head. Lo que sé en español, I know in English. What I know in English, I lo sé en español. Also very cute when the kids are doing it, and I think for them it's like something concrete. Okay, we're switching into English time, we're switching into Spanish time, but also still building those bridges where it's not rigid, you know. Lo que me sé en español me puede ayudar a aprender inglés, y igual si mi inglés es más fuerte, puedo usar lo que sé en inglés para ayudarme a aprender español. So then after lunch, we began our Spanish time. So we did that little song to kind of take us in through. I believe I read Spanish is My Superpower, and we talked about the benefits of being bilingual, how long they've been learning Spanish. Some of them speak Spanish at home. So it was just making those connections with them about why it is such an important thing and such a great thing that they speak Spanish. And then for Spanish, we actually I began by going over letter names, letter sounds. We did a few like sight words, and then we had this like very low stakes kind of first day of Spanish writing. So let me show you my slides. We're focusing on thinking maps, enfocando en mapas conceptuales y cómo estamos organizando nuestras ideas. Primero empezamos a tener un cuaderno de escritura, lo decoramos de enfrente, lo hicimos bonito, empezamos nuestra tabla de contenido y luego empezamos nuestro primero. Yo siempre les doy mi ejemplo de sobre las cosas que están en mi vida, sobre la gente y las cosas que yo quiero, y les enseñé esta foto. Y esta foto la puse después del día 1. Aquí puse adjetivos porque no lo puse aquí, pero tú tomé un momento para darles un papel que tenía mucho tiempo los estudiantes no tienen el vocabulario que quieren tener en inglés y en español. Pues le di un papel que tiene en inglés en un lado y el español en el otro lado y practicamos con un crayola verde y practicamos con un crayola rojo y uno azul para subrayar cada palabra. Y sí, así terminamos el día. La última cosa es que lo hicimos ellos mismos. Hicieron el círculo en su asiento y terminamos el día and we finished the day. So it was a really great day, I think. At the end, we ended up with a little closing circle where they shared their favorite part of the day and something they were excited for if they wanted to. They didn't have to, but it was nice to have that closing. And let me show you the slide that I had on while they were leaving. I think routines are so important. Setting them up day one, showing them your expectations and how the classroom runs, because that's going to help it run on itself. My students all have classroom jobs. They know exactly when their voice level is at when they're coming in, what they should be doing, and that all starts from day one. So let me show you my slide for the end of the day. So this is just the expectation. Al final del día los estudiantes deben de hacer ¿qué? Primero vamos a terminar con nuestro círculo de cierre. Queremos hablar sobre lo que hicimos en el día, nuestra parte favorita, guardamos todos los materiales. Tu escritorio está despejado, no hay nada arriba, cuando miro adentro todo está limpio también. Y las sillas están recogidas. Que tienen que subir sus sillas antes de irse. Y sí, I had talked earlier about how I did my kind of lesson plan for that first day, and so I just wanted to show you it is not the most in-depth thing, and I honestly just used like a pre-made one and added in what I was doing. So let me show you what that was. So this was my first day of 3rd grade. So I just went over like arrival procedures, breakfast, connections, morning meeting, classroom procedures, our class as a family, and actually this ran really late that I had to move this like after recess, put it in with math, and then math ran a little late, so it had to be finished after lunch, but that's okay, you know, things happen on the first day, so we just made it work. And yeah, I think something like this, when you're just coming back into the swing of things, so are the students, it's very helpful. And then I printed checklists of routines and procedures. We definitely did not cover all of these on the first day. You know, you have to take it very step by step with the students. But I think by now I have covered most of them, if not all of them. And I think students are now helping me run. So this is, I think, where I want to end it. I'm really happy with how the year started, and I'm excited to share more with it, about it with you guys. I think it's just going to be a great way for me to really like have something concrete to look back. I definitely, you know, I'm not going to record myself teaching and sharing that, but maybe I'll show little aspects of what I'm doing more in the classroom. I know my next video is going to be a back to school night video, and from there I really want to start getting into my daily lesson plans, what I'm doing to engage students, and how I go about that. So I hope everyone has a great day. Bye. Thank you for watching.